Good morning and welcome back to video number 3. In this video, we are going to cover the Royals. They're working it, and I even have some news on Catherine. I'm so excited. Okay, let's jump in and cover it, shall we? Let's go. We're going to start off with Beatrice and Eugenie. They went for a pub lunch in Mayfair with their husbands, Edo and Jack. I actually like Eugenie's dress, maybe not the color specifically, but the style of it, much better than what she usually wears. And of course, Beatrice looks as gorgeous as she always do. After lunch, they got on a coach. It's like a bus that took them wherever it was that they were headed to next. A big thank you to Remoulade Sauce, as usual, for showing us everything that both of the sisters were wearing. I do like this dress. It makes her look like she has a waist. Very nice. Moving on. Here we go. Queen Camilla's podcast, The Reading Room, which was a chart topper, is set to return for a second season. This is an audio version of her online book club, which, by the way, has over 172,000 followers on Instagram. We all know how much Camilla loves books, and this is right after a charity did research into the benefits of reading. So Neil Gaiman, Peter James, Kate Moss, and Richard Grant are some of the authors and actors that are set to feature in this thing. And there's 9 episodes, and it's going to come back on May 20th. Moving on to Camilla and Charles, they went to the Chelsea Flower Show alongside a host of celebrities and other royals. Here's Lady Amelia and Lady Eliza Spencer. Here we have stars from The Crown: Josh O'Connor, Beverly Knight, and Joanna Lumley. All of them looking absolutely fabulous. Next up spotted there was Dame Mary Berry. And I'm loving the print on her jacket. Next up spotted was Dame Judi Dench. Next up, Lady Amelia Windsor. She's very pretty. And for those of you who don't know who she is the granddaughter of the Duke of Kent. Now, she was pictured posing with Tabby Jackson-Gee, who is the garden designer. I think they all look lovely, and I love the garden. Next up, we have Prince and Princess Michael of Kent. Also spotted was the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester. And a big thank you to Remoulade Sauce for showing us what she was wearing. I love that dress. Now, when Camilla and Charles arrived, they were greeted by Keith Weed, who is the president of the Royal Horticulture Society. And then, of course, they went in to tour the gardens and some of the displays. They were both given badges by some school children who were there as they entered. And Charles seemed to think that was really funny, because in a nod to his environmental work, his badge read King of the Compost. And Camilla's read Queen of the Bees. I love that. There was some cute stuff going on, like to enter the garden, which was designed by children from a primary school in London. The king and queen had to pay like a thing, and it was a no adults allowed garden. So Camilla chose a flower that had been taken from Buckingham Palace Gardens, and then the adults were allowed to go in and look at the garden if they either planted a tree, donated to the campaign for school gardening, or find a flower that starts with the first letter of their names. It was very sweet. One of the exhibits had these 2 dogs that supposedly were replicas of Camilla's 2 dogs. I mean, how cute is that? Adorable. Now, there's some information if you want to get a ticket for the last minute, how you can possibly get into the flower show. Now, big thank you to this Twitter user for pointing out that there is a newly released but already sold out Highgrove Organic Rhubarb Gin. We know that everything there really is organic, even though Meghan Markle said they weren't. And I, for one, am going to try to put in an order for some of this. Yes, I don't drink, but that doesn't mean I don't want it in my cupboard. Let's move on now to Edward and Sophie, who are in a Scottish seaside village. How lovely is that? I hope I'm saying the name of the village correctly. Golspie, I believe is it. So she and Edward went, they met with the Lord Lieutenant for Sutherland. They toured the village by foot. Sophie met a lot of students from members of the Southern schools and the Sutherland Caledonian Pipe Band. There were a lot of small children lining the street. They were waving Union Jack flags, and they look cheerful as children, of course, do. I, for one, love it when they wheel out these absolutely adorable children. And one of the cutest children was 12-month-old Ilana Tryon. Look how cute she is in that sun hat. I love that. She also got to meet this adorable, is that not the cutest little dog? His name is Loki. Now, the two of them chatted with multiple members of the public, and they were right by the shoreline. Looks like a beautiful, beautiful scenery there, just gorgeous. Of course, there was a little bit of pomp and circumstance. The two of them chatted up with Lord Lieutenant for Sutherland, Patrick Marriott, and the chair of the Gillespie Community Council, I'm assuming this is his wife, Henrietta Marriott. Now, at some point, the two of them were taken down to the shore, like right down to the shore, where they got to meet the Gillespie Rowing Club by the harbor. I am not being mean when I'm saying this. This is just an observation. I am looking at the age of the people that are doing the rowing, and I'm like, wow, I always thought this was something for people in their 20s, but apparently not. More power to them. All right, let's move on to Catherine. I'm really excited about this because even though she's having her cancer treatments, apparently she's keeping up with her projects and how businesses are adapting her campaign for early childhood education. So, her initiative to encourage businesses to create the right conditions to help parents and their children is taking another step forward. There is a report that is being published by the Royal Foundation Business Task Force that sets out the case for prioritizing early childhood and the first action to be taken as a result of the work. I love this. We all know she worked on this project for like 10 years. Now, while she can't go back to work, she hasn't been given the all clear yet. She apparently was talked through the report's findings and the next steps by the executive director of the Royal Foundation Center for Early Childhood. And he said on the eve of the publication, by the way, the publication is called Prioritizing Early Childhood for a Happier, Healthier Society. He said that this is another crucial moment for Her Royal Highness's early education work, its impact, and the work of her Center for Early Childhood. And even as she recovers, it is rolling on. I love that. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Hit that like button to help me with my algorithm. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Leave those comments. They're good. Down in the description box, you'll find the links to my Twitter, my Gettr, my Rumble, my email, my Patreon, my Amazon wish list. And if you've donated anything to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.